Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. Really, we're just going to be talking about gold and silver. I didn't have a video planned out for today, anything spectacular. So I kind of wanted to jump around and kind of talk about some different stuff that's going on that I think could propel gold and silver a little bit higher. However, what really is striking me right now, and I'm probably going to be up all night tonight watching the prices of precious metals, because when I'm looking at the price right this minute, we're sitting at $29.06. Now, keep in mind the recent low for the last month we had was $28.70. Now, personally, I'm seeing higher highs and higher lows, which means sitting at 1906 to me is pretty good. I'm debating pulling the trigger and putting a big order in. I wanted to do it over the weekend. However, I said maybe we'll see it get pushed down just a little bit more tonight. And if you're ordering a 100-ounce order, I mean, let's be honest, for me, maybe not for everybody, but a 10-cent drop on 100 ounces, that's an extra $10. I want to save it if I can. I know some people out there are going to say it ain't going to matter in the grand scheme of things. When silver's $100, are you going to care that order saved you $10? And it's not so much about the savings as it is the extra silver that I'll be able to buy. Because $10 today can still buy you, you think about it, a third of an ounce roughly right now. And put that with another 20 and bam, you got a whole nother ounce. So I'm after getting as much ounces as I can. I know different people are going to have different opinions on that. And who knows? So we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on with gold, what's going on with silver today. If you guys enjoy the video and you want to help me out, hit the thumbs up button. Basically, thumbs ups have been falling quick, and it's been taking a toll on the ratings. And it's a little discouraging, but that's okay. I mean, I don't do this for the ratings. I do this because I enjoy it. But it obviously does help a little bit. So with that being said, if you would help me out by hitting the thumbs up button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the video. If there's a video topic that you'd like to hear about, let me know. I can't exactly just keep saying the same thing over and over. Gold and silver sound money. It's I could say that until I'm blue in the face, and some people are going to get it and some people aren't. There's a lot of people that are just in denial. I was posting a bunch of stuff on Facebook tonight, and about the whole political. I'm a little more what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a little more outspoken on my political side, my political viewpoints on what's going on right now on Facebook, just because, it doesn't add up a lot of what's going on. And so I, talk a lot about that on Facebook because a lot of them people know me personally. And I don't talk about precious metals on Facebook because, you run the risk of becoming a target, essentially. Even if you're like me and you don't have anything in your house, really. I guess I shouldn't say I don't have anything. I guess I got some stuff in my house, but not that much compared to what I've been stacking up over time. I don't want to run the risk of, friends of mine thinking I'm showboating or anything, which I'm not. I'm trying to push people to understand what gold and silver really is, because, a time is going to come where I believe the economy is going to take a huge dive. You can say after the election, things are going to still fall apart regardless, and I would probably guess to say that's probably true. We are in a rough time right now. A lot of people out there are starting to see it. They're starting to see that the economy is not doing really well. But they don't really understand gold and silver. Very few people out there understand gold and silver. And that's why when I go hang out at one of the shops that I hang out at, I'm seeing more and more people bringing in jewelry, selling it left and right. That's why I did the video the other day where I showed a little bit of the jewelry. I'll probably do a video this week where I'll show all that jewelry, literally individual pieces, so people can really see what it was that I picked up. But people don't understand that, investing in gold and silver is not just buying coins and bars like you see in front of you. Gold and silver is a lot of different things. It has a lot of aspects to it. Jewelry. It could be old silverware. I actually have a thing of pretty good size of Quaker Oats container full of silverware, forks, spoons, knives. And a lot of people just don't understand that that's silver. And that's as good as buying coins and rounds and bars. I actually ended up picking that up on a trade. Some of you that know Bumblebee, you'll see her sometimes in the comments. She ended up picking that up at a yard sale, $5 for a whole set of silverware, and was going to sell it. And then I ended up basically making a trade with her because what she wanted to sell it for was to take the money and buy coins and bars like what you see in front of you right here in this video. And my personal opinion, it doesn't really matter what form your silver takes. I talk to people on a regular basis, and some of them all only want American Silver Eagles. They'll say it's patriotic for you to buy American Silver Eagles. And some people will only want gold, and some people will only want 10-ounce bars, and some people only want this, that, whatever the case may be. Some people only want fractional, which would be, your constitutional silver. My opinion, silver's silver. If you know what you're talking about when it comes to silver, you understand what you have. And I understand not everybody is going to know, how many dimes make up a round or a bar or whatever the case may be. Not everybody will understand that. However, there's a couple things at play here. If you're buying it so you can barter in the streets when things break down because you're going to need to trade some gold and silver for some, beef and bread, then maybe, it makes sense to have a variety of stuff. However, I believe that what could happen, and what, in my opinion, what will most likely happen, is going to be the price of gold and silver is going to continue to go up. And a lot of people are not even going to realize what's happening. They're not. People tell me, oh, gold and silver can't go up. Silver especially can't go up because it's in too high demand for technology and they need to keep the price down. But the truth of the matter is, nobody now, or the majority of people that buy stuff, are not buying it with their hard work. They're buying it on credit. They're taking out their credit card, they're swiping it, and they're making minimum payments each month. And that's kind of why I believe this system is not sustainable. Credit will dry up. Will it dry up, or will they find a new way for you to siphon credit in the stuff that maybe you own? Truth of the matter is, the net worth of the average person is in the gutter. It's in the negative. The average person. I know if you're watching this video and you're like, I own my own home, then yeah, you're ahead of the rest. But don't be surprised to see them come up with some kind of new thing where you'll be able to borrow money from your home almost instantly, and it will be as good as a credit card, and you'll pay your interest on it, and like a pre-approved credit card that's back to your house. I mean, they're coming up with new things all the time. But on the flip side of that, they're also coming up with new taxes all the time. I was reading one new tax that they're trying to implement, or they'd like to implement, is basically a unrealized gains tax on whatever you have. So if you have a house that has gained in value, well, when you go to sell it, you will have to pay capital gains tax. But what if you don't want to sell it? What if you have the attitude, I don't plan on selling it, I'm going to give it to my kids when I pass away? Well, now they want a tax on that. Maybe you bought it at $100,000, maybe it's worth $200,000 now. And if they can get you to pay taxes on that extra $100,000 all at once, think about that. What kind of slippery road that is. Because the truth of the matter is, the average person can't pay taxes on a $100,000 gain when they didn't even receive any gains. They'd have to sell their house to come up with that money. And that would kind of put people in a really hard spot. And that's why I would be shocked if it gets approved. I'm not convinced that we'll see something like that approved in the next 4 years. But see, when you hold gold and silver, it gains. And it is unrealized gains, I guess you can say, because, maybe I have an ounce of silver that I paid $15 for, and now it's 30, 35. And the truth of the matter is I don't plan on selling it. But can you imagine if you had to pay a tax on that and you haven't even sold it? That's where things could get really slippery. But, the good thing with gold and silver is, you hold it, you own it. I talk to a lot of people, they tell me, I lost mine in a boating accident. That's the common thing. A lot of people have lost them in the boating accidents, especially around me. So, but that's something to think about. I mean, you look overseas, in some countries, they have what's called the VAT tax. I think that's how it's said. And basically, you got to pay taxes every time you buy an ounce of silver, an ounce of gold. And then in some places, they register, they have a transfer thing, which is ridiculous to me. So if I'm going to get rid of an ounce of mine, I've already reported that I have, let's say, 100 ounces, and I'm going to get rid of 10 ounces of it to a buddy of mine. I have to transfer that to him. And then it's just going to be a matter of time before they put transfer fees and all that. That's why we're really lucky to be here in the U.S. For those of us that are here in the United States, or countries that don't have major laws essentially against gold and silver. I think the U.S. is smart. A lot of states have been kind of making the laws on gold and silver more lax. I think they understand that they want Americans, or they should want Americans, holding gold and silver. Why? Because, when stuff gets really hard, you think about major crises that have happened around the world throughout history. And usually it revolves around people being so deprived that they have nothing to lose. And when people get that way, they get vicious. I mean, you think about an animal that is caged in and has a way out, and you're the way out through you. They will do whatever they have to do to get through. And people think that, oh, well, we're not animals, we're people. I mean, the truth of the matter is people are the same way. When it comes down to somebody feeding their family, their kids starving, imagine what they would do to prevent that from happening. People will go to great measures. And, it's sad to think that way, because some people might say, oh, you're promoting fear and doom and gloom. And that's not what I'm saying. In fact, I'm promoting just the opposite. Get yourself some gold and silver. If things start getting really difficult, you'll have opportunity. People just don't understand what's really going on. And as of right now, I'm going to pull it up real quick just so we can see exactly what the price is of gold and silver, because I've been up a while now watching it. Gold and silver is down to $29.08, or on the flip side, it's going to say $29.19. So people are trying to buy it if you look at the bid and the ask price, that's that 10 cent spread. You've got $29.08 to $29.18. And it's down 12 cents since it opened. That's for me, though. I'm in the middle of the night on Sunday night. Gold sitting at $2,405. It's actually up a little bit. It's up $5. But here's the thing. When you really look at where it is compared to what's going on right now, I think it's super cheap. And I can't beat that enough, because I know some people out there, just believe that it's going to go back down to $20. I mean, I had a comment today saying, obviously you don't know what you're talking about. Silver's going to be $20 within the next year. And that would shock me how people can think that. I do respect the comments of people that say you should be buying copper. Copper, I think, will do really well. I mean, it's not the number one used commodity. Silver's number 2, oil's number 1. Copper will be needed. I feel bad when I see channel subscribers arguing the difference between copper and silver, because both of them are great assets, in my personal opinion, to invest in. They're both great items to hold. I wouldn't want to pay a high premium on silver because there's so many opportunities. On copper, because there's so many opportunities for you to get copper right now for pretty much spot price, and maybe even a little less. And the reason I say a little less is because I know someone that does scrap metal, and he takes his copper in and sells it to them, and they give them something like, 40 cents under spot. And then they say, well, we're going to be the ones to sell it and get the spot price for it. And then when they manufacture it, then they get the big markups. And I understand that they've got to make money too, but that gives you an opportunity to pick up some copper for next to nothing. And really, the cheapest way to get copper, in my personal opinion, is just buy pennies or start looking through your pennies and pull out anything prior to 1982. Throw it in a bin, because there will come a time where copper pennies will have a premium. They're already 3 cents a piece. And now I want you to think, 3 cents for a penny, that's a 300% profit. However, you take a silver dime, and silver dimes were pretty much used. Anything prior to 1964, you have an opportunity to have gone out and got these at literally your bank. And when it first happened that they started sucking out the silver out of the money and they started rolling out the new dimes in 65, a lot of people just didn't really recognize what was going on. There was some people that recognized it, and they started grabbing dimes and holding as many as they could. But some people just didn't understand what was going on. And a lot of people don't understand what's going on with the pennies. And here's the thing. The pennies, this ain't new. When you think about it, copper pennies, they stopped pulling the copper in 82. I mean, we're now 32 years later, and people still don't recognize it. I still talk to people that tell me copper can never go up because people would just melt down pennies. But they don't understand the pennies now are not copper. They're zinc. They're zinc with a ultra thin copper plating. And once you realize that, there is no honest money anymore, really, out there. I mean, silver and gold. I mean, even our pennies ain't honest. I guess nickels could still be a little bit of honesty because nickels are still made out of nickel and copper, which I'm surprised they haven't changed that. They actually passed a bill a while back where they had permission to change it, but they haven't changed it yet. And I think some of that might be because of the possibility of us going to a digital money. And once we switch to a digital money, what I believe you'll see is you'll just see banks sending in their change up higher to the Fed, that district Fed, and they'll be getting less and less back. And that will be how they'll push them into digital, to use digital. And digital doesn't necessarily just mean central bank digital currency or Fed coin. It means they just will want you to get out of that. And meanwhile, they'll be sucking up all the pennies, all the copper, whether that's zinc, nickel clad, it won't matter. And a lot of people just won't realize what's going on until it's too late. And if you think that's impossible, look what happened during the cough and the change shortage. I believe that was just a test run to see what would happen. Would banks keep basically funneling up their dollars, their cash, their change? And that's exactly what they did. However, some people caught on to that, and that was the movement that really started a lot of people into stacking pennies, nickels. Some people like me, I'll be honest, I don't even always go through my pennies. I know some people will find that crazy. Well, why do you buy pennies if you ain't going to go through them? Just having them at some point down the road, when they do discontinue the penny, and they will eventually discontinue the penny, having pennies will be worth it. And here's the thing. Is $25 going to break somebody putting away a box of pennies? And a box of nickels is $100. You could probably afford $100. If you're stacking precious metals, you could probably afford a box of nickels and put it up. And you've already got essentially some. Now, I understand with, everything getting more expensive now, it's hard for people to hold all their pennies. The only pennies I look through is my pocket change. I do, at the end of the night, whatever I have in my pocket, I usually throw in a cup. But just before I throw it in the cup, I will sometimes look through the pennies, check the pennies, and throw the copper pennies in a separate bottle, throw my nickels in a separate bottle, and then the rest goes in the cup, and then the cup gets dumped in my pocket the next morning. So I have the change for whatever it is that I'm buying. I can't stand buying something for $1.05 and having to break an extra dollar bill. So But taking a look at precious metals, I believe all precious metals are going to continue to go up in value. But here's the thing. With silver, it has been manipulated way too much, and therefore it's way undervalued. At least with gold, we're only $100 off from, not even $100 off. We $60 off from our all-time high. And, silver, we've got a ways to go before the all-time high. And at one day, we're going to wake up. I doubt it will be today, but it would shock me if it was. The day you guys are watching this video tomorrow morning. And you're going to see that silver's going to have a big pop. And that's going to be it. I don't think that's going to be today, but it is coming. And the opportunity to pick it up is going to be gone. And that's why I keep trying to stack a little bit. I talk to a lot of subscribers through the comments, and they all tell me, hey, I picked up a bunch this weekend. Congratulations on the people that did pick up a little bit extra this weekend, because I think it will make a difference. And it's not going to take a lot of silver or gold to make a difference when things go crazy. And that's kind of what I want to be prepared for. I want to have my shot at a better quality of life later on. Even after everything starts falling apart. So with that being said, I thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm probably going to be moving these gold coins off site. Might even move that tube of Eagles off site. So some of the stuff in front of you might change between my next video. And who knows, I've been wanting to do a new setup again. Try to get something different, people to see. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget, if you didn't hit the thumbs up button, take a quick minute. It's free to do. Hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Talk to y'all later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.